in this video re sale on simple interest. So ke tla ba ke le bontsha how to calculate the accumulated amount, the principal amount, the interest rate, and the number of years, because ke di-question tse le goreng di ka tswa. There are many format of questions tse di ka tswang ka finance, such as bo di hire purchase, but those that are already bona, I wanna start first ka the easiest. Ne? Let's see this question. This question says Victor has taken a loan of 250 rand. The bank charged him 0.17 simple interest per year per annum. How much will he pay after 3 years? And like I said, statements that will guide which formula are we going to be using. Are we going to be using simple interest or compound interest? Well, research simple interest formula. So I'm going to go there, lay out all my data, A, P, I, and N. So now from the first sentence that says Victor has took a loan of 250 rand. The bank has charged him with 0.17 simple interest per annum. I already see where I'm given the P, which is the principal amount, the first amount, which is 250, because Victor uthomile aja loan ya 250, meaning that is our first value, that is our first amount. And then again, ke bona re bamphile 0.17 simple interest, that is my interest rate. Now luckily for me, I've already been giving it as a decimal, so there's no need to convert. And remember, the moment you convert as percentage, that is when you have to convert it to decimal. But convert it to decimal. How do I know or bampile in decimal now? Because I get or percentages, so it's possible. Like, well guys, the percentage symbol. There's no this simply. This means that the interest even they have already written it as a decimal form. In this way, then it gets converted because it is in percentage form. But because I know the percentage symbol, or it is already in decimal form. Now again, bampile the N, the period, the number of years, which is 3 years. Right. Now I've laid down all my data. A. So the question is, how much will he pay after 3 years? No, because we loan at 250. After 3 years, remember, get simple interest. Manually, we know, I want to start manually. We know that he took a loan of 250. So I'm charging an interest of 0.17. So kinaka 0.17 of 250. Remember 0.17 as percentage, you get 17%. You can just take this 0.17 while multiply 100, it will offer 17%. But it's not necessary. You can just say 250 multiplied by 0.17, and then it's gonna give you the value of 42.5. At this point, whatever this means, this tells you ge mothoki a ka ja ngwaga a sa patele, ba tlo add 42 rand 5 cent godimo ga tšhelete ela a e kolotang. So now ba rile in 3 years, so re tlo tšea this amount, the interest amount ya 42 rand 5 cent, ra multiply ka 3 years, and then it will find the value of 127.5 cent. Guys, what does this mean? Okay, before that, let me find the final answer to say, okay, in the bank, motho loan ya 250 rand. So already ba mo charge interest ya 0.17. Wa ra gore a sa e busha as 250, we busha as 250 plus the interest amount ya 42.5. So out of all this amount that was added, remember, karaga sekoloto sa gage e nana le 250 a e kolotishitše. and then ba mmotsa gore o ka fetsa ngwaga o sa patele, re add the interest ya 42.5. So first year ya fela ba add the interest amount, second year ya fela ba add the interest amount, third year e le ge e tsena ba add le the third amount, then mothoki in total a kolota 300, let me write it here, 377.5 cents. This is the amount here motho a kolotang right now after the third year. Good question, really. How much will he pay after 3 years? After 3 years motho o tlo patela 3,700 and no, not 3,000, 377.5 cent rand. This is how much this person will be paid. This is not a must ya gore guys o die manually, unless if ever your teachers will prefer o die manually. You can just use the formula, but it's simple interest, therefore we're going to use this formula. Then we know our principal amount, it's 250, 100. Then 1 plus the interest is 0.17. Remember, we don't need to convert it. Ne? Then we multiply it by the number of years, which is 3. Then now, there's no need to simplify. Remember, I said don't do that. Go avoid the error, just simplify. But if your teachers want to go simplify, you can gladly do that. So we're going to press this whole amount in your calculator. You're going to get 377.5 cents. This is the exact same amount you're manual. So you can do it manually. Just take the normal, the amount you're what am I add? I get 3 years. What am I add the interest amount? Okay, but le batlo add 42.5. Ke ngwaga mathomo, ngwaga bobedi, ngwaga boraro, and then we add all this amount to tlo kry your final amount. Or o ka shumisha ka formula wa kry your final amount the quickest way possible, which is this way. Let's look at another example. Now, I think by now we're going to A. You can pause the video was about this one. Barry John has invested a certain amount of money in a bank with 30. Okay, let me note this one. Barry John has invested a certain amount of money. We don't know what motho ga ba investor o tšhetše bokae. O tšhetše tšhelete but a re tsebe gore ke bokae. In a bank ye le gore e na le 30% simple interest per annum. After 11 years, he had an amount of 5,000. How much was the money invested? So John, o ile bankeng a investa tšhelete ba mo fa 30% simple interest. Then motho ge tšhelete la e gare e bile ka re ga banka tšhelete re sa tsebe gore ke bokae. After 11 years o re la checka a kry-a le gore no ka re ga banka gage o na le 5,000. Now rena re no ko tseba gore nako ya go invest o investile bokae. But ke simple interest. I'm gonna go there, lay out my data, A, P, I, and N. I always do this, guys, in exam to avoid the errors. Now, Barry, okay, first statement, Barry has invested a certain amount of money. So, Rida Barry has invested a certain amount of money. She's about PR because Barry a certain amount of money. I read about certain amount you wake up. Then ba re file 30%, ya simple interest, that's the interest, 30%. Wa bona re na le simple la percent, or it's in percentage. And then after 11 years, that's about that is the end, the period. And then bar had an amount of 5,000. This is 5,000. Many people usually tšhelete ba re fang yona ke P. Guys, read the statement carefully. In finance, you must read the English. You must read your statement carefully. But he had after 11 years, he had an amount of 5,000. Kamara 11 years, motho bile 5,000. After 11 years, the interest on all those things. So that's the accumulated amount. That is why A is not P. So you must read your statement very carefully. So I'm gonna write my formula there because this is simple interest. I think now A is 5,000. In terms of substitution, please ka re o mongwe ena a ka no dia kana mokgono, but then mo godimo formula e substitute go P. Be careful. That's why ke rata go dia this thing, because ya go gopotsa gore mo bonang A o beya 5,000, mo bonang P a o beya selo, mo bonang I o beya 30%, mo bonang N o beya 11. So this is very useful, but you don't have to show it in your answer sheet. Then there ke ngwadile 5,000 equal to P ya ka ke e tsebang ke re, so ke tlo tlogela SP. Then open bracket 1 plus my interest is 30%, go ra re tshwanetse ke convert 30 divided by 100 and then multiplied by the number of years ke 11. Bamphile in years, so I don't have to convert it. Now this is solved for X basic. Wa bona this at this point una kana le this P, una kana le your principal amount. The question gore, how am I going to get this P all by itself? How am I going to make it the subject of the formula? Well, you can make it the subject of the formula by dividing ka bracket yeki. Again, remember, bracket means multiplication. This means P is multiplying bracket yeka moka. This is P multiplied by everything that is inside the bracket. You can make things simple for you. Calculator, then steps or just to be much more faster, you can just divide 1 plus 30 over 100 bracket just like this, because I get about something multiply when check out divide. Divide when check out multiply. So at this point, bracket P they are multiplier. So multiply divide, hence re divide deal. So what are ntho ka metlo cancela ye ka moki ra khona o shala ka P la re nyaka. I hope it makes sense. You know that whatever you do on the left, you must also do on the right. So I'm also going to cut this bracket on this side. Times 11. So pedi di over the cancelane, remember then rashalaka P in this side, and then you just use your calculator. Guys, mistake. This is the second way you can do this. Let me show you. Or avoid the mistake, because when we're to they don't understand it. This was 30 over 100 times 11. Ne? So you can rewrite this step 5,000 equal to P open bracket. Then instead of dividing down, what enter all these values? I-values tse di beng ka mogara bracket ka moka wa di tsentšha ka mokgono ka calculate wa re 1 plus 30 over 100 multiplied by 11, and then it will fa 4,3 ne wa re 4,3. You have simplified everything. Then ge e ba so e ba simple for some other people gore okay no, so ke a bona gore cause ke na kontšha 4,3 and ya multiply, then ke tlo divide ka 4,3 both sides. 4,3. Then ba kgona go bona gore oh, this one cancel this one ba bangwe. So either way it's gonna be correct. Then go shala P ka mo, and then on that side ore 5,000 divided by 4,3, and then it gives you the value of 1,162 rand, 79 cents. Whenever you're dealing with this one, at least try to round it off to 2 decimal places, because the coin or the cents has 2 values. Actually, but maybe something is 100 rand 988 cents. Like that's, I've never seen that before. So round off to 2 decimal places, and then this is your answer. This is your final answer. Your P, where Mutoki o investile 1,162 rand 79 cents, and then after 11 years I create 5,000. That's how you answer. It's all about knowing gore ge ke the number ya multiplier ke ntsha ka eng e lo re ya divider ke ntsha ka eng. Guys, what I was talking about is something like this. O ka lebella this side ke na le 2a. 2a can be written as 2 multiplied by a. Ge ke nyaka go share a e le teng ke naka this number ya a, because I see gore number tse di multiply, I see gore 2 ya multiply. To remove it, ke tlo ntšha ka the inverse of whatever is doing here. O e multiplier moki. And we know the opposite of multiplication is division. So wencha, it means I'm gonna divide by 2. Then they're gonna cancel each other ka shala ka A. On this side go nyaka A, o kgona bona 2a, what is it doing? It is dividing. Remember this way, it can also be written like this, A divided by 2. It can also be written as that way. So because 2 yaka ya divider, remember guys, as a fraction, you must be very careful. The numerator is not the one that is dividing. The denominator is the one that's dividing. So, a number that is dividing, re ka go multiply. So you can multiply ka 2, di tlo cancelana, wa shala ka A ya gago. Okay. It's not numbers. O ka tša calculator guys, if ever on a 5/7, o ka tša calculator gago 5/7 multiplied by 7, it tlo go fa 5. Why? Because 7 e cancelana le this 7 ya ka mo fase. I really hope it makes sense. You can test it ka calculator. Just do any value. You can say 8/11 multiplied by 11. It will offer 8 because this 11 multiplied this 11. Okay, so whenever uncha number ya multiply, uncha ka divide. Uncha number divider, uncha ka multiply. As for teacher the fractions, be very careful. Remember, feel truly A. Oscar geno concha 2 multiply ka 2. It's not gonna work because 2 as you are divider. What's dividing ke number here kamufas. But in terms of multiplication, are not about only 2a or only a2. As long as you can divider, number so you must be very careful kaya fraction or the denominator is the one that's multiplying. So re go no kontsha 2 o tla in a different way. It's only gonna work if o ngwadile so because 2 ye ke yona e le goreng ya divide. So gore o you can multiply ka 2, they are cancelang.